Liam, according to the statement, what they say, this probe doesn't really sound that thorough, and even they seem to admit that themselves, the FCA.
I've been a financial journalist for 30-odd years, Pip. I'm older than I look. This report leaves me completely baffled, and I don't use that word lightly. I mean, has the FCA even read the 40-page document that the Telegraph published in full, that the Daily Mail published in full, that's on our website? The 40-page document that NatWest Coutts put together about Nigel Farage, a document that says there's a significant reputational risk of being associated with him. That's what Coutts said about Farage. His views are at odds with our position as an inclusive organisation. That's what Coutts said about Farage. Alison Rose, the now removed chief executive of NatWest, Coutts' parents' company, she wrote to Nigel Farage publicly to apologise for the deeply inappropriate comments. Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, at the dispatch box, said that people need to be able to have lawfully held views that we might not agree with, but they shouldn't be denied financial services because of them. Does the FCA not read Hansard? Do they not follow what's going on in Parliament? And what they've done is a typical establishment fudge, I'm afraid. They've said there's no evidence that political views are the primary cause for debanking people, which, of course, is meaningless. Yeah. Because are they a contributory cause? Well, what was the primary cause that Coutts wanted to get rid of Nigel Farage? Nigel can speak for himself, and he will in no uncertain terms. I'm an economic and business journalist, and a very experienced one, and I am absolutely gobsmacked that the FCA has got the gall to put out a report that so clearly the establishment circling the wagons, an utter disgraceful fudge.
I can see you are absolutely raging.
Look, this is the FCA, right? We are the financial capital of the world under a lot of headings. The City of London generates enormous wealth for this country. The FCA is the regulator of the City of London. It is now playing pathetic politics with its own reputation in order to save establishment faces. It's completely outrageous report.
And Liam, even more baffling when you look at the leaked dossier from Coutts to Nigel Farage, mentioned Brexit 86 times. It mentioned Russia 144 times. Clear as the nose on your face that political motivation was in there. What do you make of the fact that it's been leaked to the FT, this report?
Well, they're clearly going to get a very favourable show from the FT, aren't they? I mean, the City of London's House magazine, somewhere where I once worked back in the day. I've got no bitterness about the FT. I walked away from the FT for many reasons, mainly because I got a big break in television. But the fact that this report has been put out in the way it has, it's just galling. It's just treating the public as if they are thick. And this is a deep reputational blow for the FCA because everyone around the world can see what's happened here. Alison Rose apologised to Farage publicly and she was removed. The Prime Minister said at the dispatch box of the House of Commons what's happening here. We've all read the 40-page document on Coutts' letterhead. How can they possibly say that politics played no role in Coutts' attempts to debank Nigel Farage?
But it's also understood that the FCA, the investigation was done very quickly and that there was inconsistencies in the data available and they're going to carry out further inquiries. So how can they now come out today with this conclusion when there's still clearly so much more work to be done?
This is the ultimate de haut en bas move, from up above. Let's just tell the little people to bugger off, frankly. Sorry for the use of daytime language, or maybe not daytime language. I spent a lot of my career, a lot of my life analysing regulation in the City of London. I know there are a lot of really good people at the FCA, many of whom I studied with, written academic papers with over the years. I've been inside the FCA many times, helping people there understand the media. It's a good organisation. It's full of good people. What the high-ups at the FCA have done here with this deeply political fudge is sully the reputation of one of the great financial regulators of the world in the City of London, one of the financial capitals of the world.
Yeah, Liam, we've got Nigel Farage coming up shortly. No doubt he will give us what's on his mind. But what would you like to see happen now? I mean, is the FCA even fit for purpose? Nigel was talking earlier about sackings on the board. Is that likely to happen? It seems like the most internal chumocracy out there. They're marking their their own homework? How can they be accountable to the outside world?
I won't steal Nigel's thunder as if I ever could, but I'd like to see a very senior cabinet minister say publicly to the FCA, really? Really? Have you read the Coutts dossier about Nigel Farage that was published in many national newspapers? Just call this out for what it is, a complete fudge.
Wow, strong words there, Liam Halligan, as ever.